This is Kelly again, coming at you to tell you what our Consumer Defense Lab really is. So, our Consumer Defense Lab, which is hosted on Go Collab, which if you've never heard of it, it's very similar to a school community. However, it's much more robust than probably most of the school communities you've ever been on if you've joined one before. We have 12 to 15 different channels, different forums that people can join, where you can study and also collaborate and talk to each other about what you're studying, what you're going through with your cases, learn from each other and what they're doing on their cases as they go through the administrative process and the court process, litigation, right? Because as I mentioned in my last video, that's where you are probably going to be headed to really get remedy if you do find errors and fraud on your contracts. We also have different levels with different courses depending on what level you join. We have a lower tier where you may get access to a limited amount of educational information. And we have multiple other tiers, including Ironworks and the Tool Room, where you could possibly get access to all of the courses. Now, we have 3 faculty who will be teaching the majority of the courses, myself, and I teach the Evidentiary Studies. So if you're starting from the very beginning, hopefully you're not in a position where you're like about to get foreclosed on, about to get your car repoed. Even if you are, we can help you. But if you are at a point where you know you may not be able to pay, or like something just doesn't look right on the way they're collecting, and you want us to strategically go through the administrative process and not stop paying until, you know, you get to the point where it's okay for you to not pay, as a strategic measure, right? And what I teach is gathering that evidence on the front end, knowing what evidence they have to provide to collect on you, repo your car or your equipment or whatever it may be, foreclose on your home. That's what I teach. So gathering the evidence on the front end, knowing what evidence they have to bring if they are the plaintiff and they're suing you. What do they have to show as far as being the original creditor, holder in due course, that type of thing. Then my husband, Jeff, he teaches the trust, administrative trust and credit, how to clean up your credit. Now, we are not a credit repair agency. We teach you how to send letters and possibly file complaints to clean up your own credit. That would be under the Fair Credit Reporting Act. And then we have Ephraim, who is over the strategic studies. Procedural strategic studies. Okay, so he is more on the strategy side, especially when you're going through litigation in court. There's a lot of strategy. There's a lot of mindset that you have to be prepared for. The attorneys will be very friendly and cordial and professional. Sometimes not. But if you are a pro se litigant, you have to know the strategy behind what they're doing, what they're saying, every motion that they file. And so we're here to teach pro se litigants how to go through that process and not give up because you feel like you're being bullied and you don't know what your remedy is. So every stage of the game, we're here to teach you how to get remedy. And then we have George, who is our lead faculty. He teaches the consumer defense. And he is really the creator of a lot of these materials and content. And we do provide letter templates as an educational resource only. And that is really only if you are enrolled in a course, or you're working with one of us one-on-one in a tutoring session where we can teach you how to actually use that letter properly. So we do not sell ebooks or templates and just give them to you and say, here, go figure it out. We really want you to join our community and learn the process from start to finish and be able to learn to do it on your own, so that at some point, maybe you won't need us anymore. You'll be able to enter a contract and know what you're signing from the beginning. So with that, that is what our Consumer Defense Lab is, and we want you to join us and learn more. We're looking forward to teaching people this information. And as someone who has followed many different gurus, as far as, I don't want to say the S word, but we don't teach this stuff, the sovereign movement, the consumer defense remedies. I've studied with many, many different gurus, and there is nothing out there that is like this, that will actually teach you the proper process to get remedy. And we don't do it through Sovereign Citizen, because if that is the method that you start with, you're going to have a lot of problems when you get to court. They're going to use that as a defense. So if you've been going down that road and you want to litigate and you come to us, there will have to be some cleanup that is done and some redirection of your case. So keep that in mind. And if you have any questions, reach out via our website. There's a phone number. There's a place where you can enter your information so we can reach out to you and answer any questions you have. Thanks.